Someone asked the difference between test and temptation. A temptation is from the devil. A test is from God. Usually, a test is comprised of temptations. I'm going to repeat myself. Temptations are from the devil and tests are from God. Temptations are supposed to make you fall. Tests are supposed to lead to a promotion. We look at James chapter 1 verse 2. It says, brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse trials. So your King James says temptation, but trials will be a better word. Knowing that the trial or the testing of your faith worketh patience, and let patience have its complete work in you, that you may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. Now jumping down to verse 12. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Lord, for God cannot be tempted of evil, neither tempted he any man, but every man is tempted when he is drawn, dragged, pulled by his own lusts, desires. And lust, when it has conceived, brings forth sin, and sin, when it has finished, brings forth death. 16. Do not err, my beloved brother. Don't err. Can you see from those places that people thought that God was behind temptation? Can you see? They thought that God was behind temptation. So he said God cannot be tempted. God does not tempt you. God will test you. How does he test you? Some of you are very good at failing tests, like test of shutting up and sitting and quiet. Very hard. A test from God comes in trying to make you obey something he has said. A test from God. Lord, I want to be more quiet. Let me use a real example that applies in church meetings. Lord, I want to concentrate. I have heard, I feel guilty that I'm too distracted. Distractor is your nickname. Some of you are distractors. Some of you are distracted. The distracted is your own. You have prayed about it, and you have purposed in your heart that you will not be distracted, that you listen. What do you expect to happen? You are about to be tested in overcoming distraction. You look at it first. What is it that distracts you? Example, sitting next to someone you're acquainted with, you're friendly with, right? You're tempted to keep on having to talk just naturally. That's what happens when I sit down next to people. I tend to talk for real. So what do? You come to church and there's only this seat. You have told yourself, I won't sit next to my friend, I will sit there. But you come and there's only this seat available. You are being tested, not tempted. Are you hearing? That's not a temptation. How is it a temptation? That's a test. What will you do? You ask someone to exchange places with you. Please don't be offended. Please, can you sit there? Please. What if they refuse? You explain the situation. What if they still refuse? You give up easily now. You ask someone else. You see, that's how people fail tests. You need to pull on what? Perseverance, immediate. Self-control is the one you pulled on. By the way, you overcome every test with a fruit of the Spirit. Self-control says, don't sit here. But it is, you have exercised self-control by not wanting to sit here, even though you so want to sit next to your friend. But perseverance makes you persevere in pursuing that goal of not being distracted. So you ask someone else. What is it that makes you ask another person? After a while, not perseverance is what? Long suffering. That's where you refuse to give up. Please. You're suffering now. It had entered suffering, but you're like, I'll suffer long to do what is right. The explanation, instead of saying, I've asked you now, or leave now, what? And you go and sit down. You have refused to suffer long at all. You overcome tests with the fruit of the Spirit. You pass tests. Can you think of 2 examples of tests in the Bible? Joseph, Potiphar's wife, was that a test or a temptation? Did everyone say temptation? They all did. What did I say about tests? Did I say it's usually comprised of multiple temptations? Yes, not all, but typically. Job, the ultimate example. Was the devil tempting Job to do what? How? To curse God. Do you remember? Till he went and whispered to the wife, him to just curse God, so God will kill him. Curse God and die. Satan wanted to tempt him to curse God and sever his relationship with God. But what was God doing? What happens after you're tested? Job said it. After I have been tried or tested, I will come out like gold. Peter repeated it. Go and read the book of 1st and 2nd Peter, talk about the trials and all that. You come out like gold.